Hello, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you were listening to VCR. How are you, Roxy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm making it like we always do, but this week is that special kind of thriller week for us, and I just for our 67 other nations who listen to us, they may not know exactly what kind of week this is for us. So I'm going to drop a hint, and this comes from one of my favorite actors who did this voiceover. Let's see if you can guess it. I'm sure Roxy will get it, but let's see what the rest of us get out of this. Are we ready? Ready. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood, and whoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver. For no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller. Na, thriller na. Yes, for us, it is Halloween coming up. This
Halloween kid.
this Friday is no Thursday. My bad,
Thursday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
For the Ghetto Boys, the Halloween did not fall on a weekend this year.
It did not,
It did not, which would have been
unfortunately.
super great if it did. But hey,
Next year.
eventually, yeah, there you go. This year we got it on a Thursday, so Thursday's the big Halloween day. What y'all,
Yay.
what do y'all, our audience, do for the Halloweens? I'm kind of curious. You should email us and let us know
Yeah.
what kind
What are
of
your Halloween
really
keys tradition?
exactly like is it involving the kids? Are there no kids? What do you do if you don't have kids? Type of thing. Roxy, will you be doing anything exciting for Halloween skis?
I mean, I've decorated and stuff, and
Mm,
I'm probably gonna go out. I'm gonna find something to do. Yeah.
sounds fun. See,
I don't know
so
what, but something.
but you're gonna do something. So for me,
Yeah.
on Thursday, because it is a weekday and I still gotta go to work on Friday and all that other stuff, whatever I'm gonna do is very light. I think me and you were talking about it last night. So I think there's been a list of horror movies that I've been claiming to watch and go revisit. So I think Thursday when I get back from work, if there's nothing too pressing to do, I'm going to pop on a few of those horror movies and finally get them off my list
Did
of
you watch
things
any
to
of them
watch.
last night?
No, I did not. I came home and I did other things, so I did nothing last night after I got home. So I just kind of passed out, kind of like from my understanding, the same that you did, right?
Yeah, I came home. I put on a movie. I don't remember what. It was a
You just
scary one, but I fell asleep, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I gotta say, so I have Netflix, which I may not keep for very much longer. Their Halloween or horror movie stuff is bare minimum. It's like
Yeah.
21
Well,
movies
that
to
and like
select
I've
for.
seen everything, I think. I'm pretty much done with the horror section of Netflix.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you can go to the Tubi stuff, but the issue with Tubi is it's stuff that needs to be on
It's Tubi.
Tubi, you know?
It's
So
Tubi.
someone wrote it in their kindergarten class and someone like, "Oh
Oh
my
gosh.
God, let's turn this into a movie," type of thing. So yeah, that's the issue with Tubi's horror movie stuff. And they try to make clowns scarier than what they are type of situation. But we talk about Halloween. We always talk about what we're doing every Halloween, every year. So this year, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of telling you what we're going to do with our fascinating lives on the spooky day, uh,
So
we're,
fascinating.
we're going to pretty much tell you a brief history of Halloween because I think a lot of people get confused about history of Halloween and all this and what's the timeline and how did things happen and why do we even celebrate it and blah 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 blah. So we're gonna jump into a little bit of that and we'll try to clear up why some people try to claim it's an evil day when really it isn't. But hey, we'll jump into our own version of Mythbusters here, the poor man's version of Mythbusters. So let's start with something kind of fun that I love to do every year. And in fact, this week I'm going to go out and buy one and do it up. Uh, Carving pumpkins.
Yes, I'm gonna do that actually too. I'm gonna do that.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go buy one today. I'm gonna carve one today. I'm gonna carve the one that I like to carve every year, and then I'm gonna get one for my niece so she can paint it, which kills me because kids don't carve them nowadays. They
I
mostly want to paint them, and
know.
I don't
It's so
get
fun.
that.
It's carving.
I was like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? Stop being little babies. Just carve it, Do the fun stuff, clean it out, roast the seeds, eat those delicious seeds.
Yeah, that's
Oh
all.
my.
That's all part of it.
I mean, it is. It really is. I love doing that every year.
I would
That's
make a
what it
spicy batch and a
is.
sweet batch.
See, I
So
just
good.
do I just do regular with a little salt, put that in the oven, pop it out, and just like munch them throughout the whole week because it's
Yeah,
just me. And those pumpkin produces a lot of
a lot
seed.
of seeds. Yeah.
And I'm an avid gardener, so I'm a weirdo. So I will collect quite a few seeds. So honestly, I have these tin cans filled with pumpkin seeds. I could literally go start a pumpkin farm somewhere. I have so many of them. It's ridiculous. I actually tried to grow some this year. The vine did great, but then something got on it and killed it, so I didn't get to.
Caterpillar,
I know, probably it was some kind of
just
funk.
like mine.
Yeah, probably. So I just need to clear that up. But let's jump into the history of the jack-o'-lantern.
Mm,
Why is it
the
called?
great pumpkin.
I know, the Great Pumpkin. Why is it called the Jack-o'-lantern? A lot of people are curious about that, or they have no idea why we call it Jack-o'-lantern. They just assume, hey, it's a jack-o'-lantern because it has a face. You're kind of right, but not completely. So the jack-o'-lantern has a interesting legend to it. Jack-o'-lantern actually stands for Jack of the Lantern. It's just the shortened version. So who
Mhm.
is Jack of the Lantern? Well, let's go back to according to the legend. So the legend falls that there was a man named Stingy Jack.
Mhm.
And Stingy Jack invited, I'm not exactly sure how he got the devil involved with this, but apparently, he met the devil or invited the devil out for a drink, which I think is kind of weird. It's like, how do you do that? Do you like send a
I
text?
was never invited out for a drink.
Well, hey,
Um,
I'm just saying, this is the legend
that
here.
is not how it went. No, I'm kidding.
But how he gets tricked may be up your alley, though. So this is what happens. So Stingy Jack and the devil were at a bar. Sounds like a bad joke. So they're at a
Right.
bar, and what happens is Stingy Jack doesn't want to pay for the drinks. So he talks the devil into turning the devil and the devil turning himself into a coin so he can pay for the drinks. And of course, the devil will pop back up into his regular formation, so they really don't pay for their drinks. So the devil thinks it's going to be fun. It was like, yeah, why not? So the devil turns himself into the coin. So then Jack picks up the coin, who is the devil, and instead of paying for the drinks, he puts the coin in his pocket next to a silver cross so the devil cannot transform back. And what he does is he tricks the devil. He tells the devil, look, I will move you away from the cross and you can transform back, but you have to promise me that you're not going to take vengeance. And when it when I die, you have to promise not to claim my soul. So the devil, wanting out of being in this coin formation, agreed, and then changes back in the devil. But Jack only asked for 1 year. Well, apparently Jack and the devil apparently like hanging around each other because later on, what happens is Jack and the devil are like in an orchard or some sort, and Jack tricks the devil into going up into this tree and picking this apple from like the highest point of the tree, claiming that the devil couldn't do it and this and that, right? So the devil, being a prideful person, goes up into the tree to get it, but while the devil is in the tree, Jack takes out his pocket knife and he carves a cross into the tree. trapping the devil into the tree, and then makes an agreement with him. Hey, you know, I want to expand my contract from 1 year to 10 years, and you can't claim my soul again. Blah blah blah. So the devil, being mad, you know, agrees, and then Jack carves out the cross, takes it off so the devil can get out. Then what ends up happening is a little time has passed and Jack dies. So the issue is Jack is going to go try to go into heaven, but
I can't.
can't because God is aware of what Jack did to the devil
Mm-hmm.
and was like, no, we're not going to have that tomfoolery up in here. So
Right.
you, you go
Keep that
your
shit over
way,
there.
go your way in peace. So then Jack went to the devil because Jack needs a place to go. He's dead,
Hmm.
so his soul needs a place to go. So he went to the devil, and the devil gets kind of the final laugh. He's like, "No, no, 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 no. We ain't having that up in here." And tells him, "And remember, I can't claim your soul per our agreement." So he can't break the contract that he made with Jack. So Jack was like, "Well, what the hell do I do?" So the devil gave him a burning piece of coal to light his way back into the world. So Jack takes the coal and then he carves open a turnip and puts the coal in the turnip, making a lantern. This is why he is Jack of the Lantern. Later on, it becomes other things. Other vegetables were used as lanterns, such as turnips, potatoes, and then our ever famous pumpkins. So this is how we get Jack of the Lantern or Jack o' Lantern, because he is still supposedly roaming the earth today because no one will claim his soul.
Dang.
So that is Jack of the Lantern, the history of the Jack o' Lantern. Eventually, we just all put a candle on pumpkin and
A tea light because
call
we
it
don't
a
want to burn
day.
it down.
And just call it a day after that,
Yeah.
you know? So that's how we get the legend of the jack-o'-lantern. Um, so that's a little funsy type of thing for you Halloween ghouls out there. But
Halloween.
Halloween skis, Roxy, have you ever wondered why we give out candy on Halloweens?
No, I have
No,
not.
you just take the candy and
Yeah.
like, fuck why?
I was like, it's a treat for the kids. And
What's
I'm
your
still a
favorite?
kid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, trust me, I know. So what's your if you were out trick or treating, let's say adults can trick or treat. Uh, oh, you know what? Before I go into that, let me put out a warning, a kindness warning for people. Um, because there's this thing where it's associated that you're a certain age or a certain height, you shouldn't be trick or treating, right?
Mhm.
I just want to say that may not always be the case. If someone comes up who looks like maybe they're a full-grown teenager or maybe they're a an adult, keep in mind something that we probably forget. Um, People who have mental challenges
Mhm.
still trick or treat,
Mhm.
and they're not trying to be mean or anything. They're just maybe they're mentally challenged, maybe they're on the spectrum. And here's another thing. If some teenager comes asking for trick or treat, you have to think there are people who are impoverished and maybe just want a little something. This is
Yeah,
their
but not
treat.
just that. I mean, at least they're trying to enjoy their childhood instead of out
Mhm.
doing whatever, running the streets, vandalizing stuff, causing
Y-
problems.
Yes, absolutely.
Let them
So
be kids. Who cares?
yes,
Give
take
them
that
the
into
candy.
account. Take that into account if you see someone.
How about just don't be an asshole? If a kid knocks on your door, give them the candy. Just don't be,
Exactly.
just
Give
give
them
them
a
the candy.
give them a treat, whether they look like they're full grown or not, just drop a treat. And you never know. They may have a growth disorder where they look like an adult or
Yeah.
something like that. So be cool. Don't
And
be
if
a
you have an
jerk.
adult with them, give them a bottle because they probably need it.
They probably do, especially if their child's that
Give
big.
them a little mini, little
They need
airplane bottle.
they need a
Little
beer or
spinny needle.
something.
Right?
So Treats, sweet treats. How do we end up with this tradition? Well, it goes back to something called soul cakes. So around the 8th century, what happens is, people would, they were celebrating different traditions, right? And they would knock on the doors and they would beg for either money or fruits or nuts or things back then that they would commonly. You have to think confectioners are not a modern, we're
Right.
not a situation back then. It is a thing now, and you can get them for dirt cheap now. Back then, it was just unheard of to have a chocolatier or anything like that. So they would ask for these things. And in exchange, what they would do, especially if someone had recently passed away, they would offer prayers for the recently departed. So what would happen is like, oh, knock knock, we will offer prayers on behalf of your beloved one who has recently departed, provided that, maybe a little treat or something. So people would start baking soul cakes, and soul cakes are just these little cookies with a little like cheapy cross etched in them. And but the
Hmm.
thing is they were sweetened by either fruits or different things like that. Matter of fact, let me pull this up. Why am I rambling about it? Let me just show it. Uh Roxy, as always,
Is
let
it
me
kind of like
do.
the Eucharist, like the wafer?
No, no, it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, it's just
I mean,
a
like the cross on it, like it's kind of like that.
well, you know what? Yeah, in some cases, yeah, if you look at some hosts, it has this simple little cross on it type of situation. And in other cases, if you're Catholic, that host can get pretty elaborate. So it just depends on where you go. But yeah, so here are little soul cakes. You can see they have a little cross on it. These are some nice looking ones. They have various little fruits or nuts in it. And you have this little thing here, because they were doing this prior to
Hmm.
All Souls Day. They were making these little off. I'll pray for your beloved past ones, and they'd give them little treats and stuff like that. And soul cakes were these little cookies that they would commonly give out. I've never had one. They look pretty easy to make. Uh, we have soul cake recipes for Samhain, which is the Celtic version of Halloween. Actually, part of the true origins of Halloween come from the Irish, Celtic area. So let's see what kind of simple recipes are in here. If it and they're like, hey,
Mhm.
this is how you do it,
Yeah,
and
let
then
me
they
give you the
give you all this
background.
stuff, and they don't quite tell how to do it. Click here for this Irish so that's Irish soda bread. You know what? We're just going to go back to
I
Google.
don't think you read that correctly. Like, just keep scrolling down. It's usually at the very bottom.
No, this is Irish soda bread
No,
recipe.
the soul cakes thing. Just keep scrolling down. It's usually at the bottom. No.
This is what Roxy does to me all day. She yells at me. Let's just type in recipe shop. There we go. We don't, it knows Roxy's yelling at me, so like just here, take take the recipe. Let's do the cooking journey blog. God, I fear that this is going to have another damn history. There we go. Where's a nice little recipe here? No, no, no. I love how they
Keep
make
scrolling.
things.
It's down at the bottom.
Why do you have to be mean to me in front of our
If you don't
audience?
listen, it's right there. See?
Oh God, U.S. Custom, you kill me.
I will.
So prep time is 20 minutes. Total time is 40 minutes. Serves up to about 18 cookies.
Ooh.
U.S. customary. So we have 175 G butter, room temperature. Then we have granulated sugar, 3 egg yolks, medium size. Uh, Flour, and then we have 2 teaspoons of mixed spice. 70 G's of raisins, 6 to 7 teaspoons of milk, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar for dusting. That's optional. And here's your delightful little recipe. I will include this in the links. That way you kind of have idea of how to make some delicious, yummy, wummy soul cakes. I did not know that they have these things for like sizes.
Oh yeah, the measuring mats.
Yep. And then like yeah, I did not know that was something that existed. But see, that's a little soul cake. See? Aren't those cute? I wonder how they taste. It kind of looks like shortbread if you ask me.
Kind of, yeah.
But
Like bread with raisin in it.
it's a little bit darker. I like it though. It looks nice. I'm tempted to like try it and eat it, see how it goes. Be like, "Oh
You
my
should do it.
God, that's terrible." So okay. So now you know a little bit about the candies and jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that. But let's talk about what everyone likes to talk about. Like how one culture blends to another, blah blah blah, and it's called war.
Yeah.
One culture is conquered by another culture, and that culture brings in its culture, and then the other culture is conquered by another culture, and then everything starts to mesh together. So this is called a cultural exchange, sadly. That's what we actually call it. But when it comes down to it, it's actually war.
Well,
What I mean by that is, of course, the Celtics have, their what we call our Halloween celebration. And then what happens is the Romans come in and they take over. And then they have their Roman celebrations, which were kind of similar in the sense that they're both celebrating death, right? And those who have passed. And then what happens is the after the Romans came, then eventually the Roman Empire itself turned into the how do I put this? Well, it becomes the Roman Empire, but then the Roman Empire goes through a conversion because of Constantine becoming the first what they call Christian emperor, basically the first Catholic emperor, and then spreads Catholicism throughout the lands in which they've conquered. Okay. So what happens here is Halloween falls at a really interesting time. So it is the 31st of October. And then for those of you who are Catholic, and I can't say Protestantese because Protestants don't really jump on board with this. The next day after Halloween is what is called or known as All Saints' Day. So November the 1st is All Saints' Day. For all you lapsed Catholics out there, yes, that is a day of obligation. So the next day is All Saints' Day. November the 2nd is All Souls' Day. So basically, even that has changed over the years. Originally, it wasn't All Saints' Day, it was All Hallowmen's Day, which was the feast of all those who have been martyred in the faith type of thing. So then what happens is eventually, I think it was Pope Gregory changed Gregory the third or the 13th changes it to All Saints Day to celebrate all saints and angels and all this other stuff. But that's besides the point. So the 31st, being the day before All Saints Day, kind of inherits the name All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Eve means, which eventually becomes Halloween, transforms into Halloween. All Hallows Eve basically means holy night before, so it becomes part of the Triduum. So you have Halloween, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day. And then, boom, this is how we kind of get this Triduum of celebration of Halloween, because Halloween is the night before All Saints Day. So it's still, they call it a holy night, All Hallows, Hallows meaning holy. So that's where that kind of comes from. And then just like Jack of the Lantern, Jack o' Lantern, Hallows Eve, Halloween. You see the transformation of names and all
mhm.
that other good stuff. So this is how we end up with a lot of this kind of interesting stuff. The whole dressing up in costumes is still Celtic, very much Celtic,
Uh-huh.
where it was to disguise yourself from evil spirits that may want to do you harm or may want to do your harvest harm. So you would disguise yourself in various costumes. Back then, it was mostly according to the History Channel. They would dress up wearing skulls of like certain cattle and things like that. Now it's like Chucky. Vampira,
Yeah.
things that they'd be like, "What the hell is this?" type of situation. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a watered down history of Halloween. Any particular tradition that is your favorite for Halloween, Roxy?
Dressing up.
Dressing up. And I gotta say, I saw Roxy did a photo shoot not that long ago, was absolutely très magnifique. Where, and this is the first time anyone's ever done this with her. I'm surprised they haven't done it sooner. Uh, Dressed her up as Elvira and started this beautiful photo shoot of her in downtown Houston,
Yeah.
where she was even accosted by a couple of teenagers who wanted her photo.
Yeah, it was
which
cute.
which was super cute because I was looking at the photos and the photographer got the photo of them like all being excited taking photos with Roxy. And I don't know who they originally thought she was, but they loved it apparently.
Yeah.
And that, to me, they seemed a little bit too young to maybe know who Elvira is,
No,
but
I don't
like apparently
know.
she knew.
She's pretty popular.
Yes,
Yeah,
Elvira
so
is iconic and gorgeous.
yeah,
Just
she
still
really
one of
is.
the
And
loves of my life.
especially, and they look like they were kind of like gothy, so I'm pretty sure they know who she is.
Yes, you're right. They may have been like now that I think back on that picture, they did look a
Yeah.
little gothy. So maybe they do. Maybe they are fans of Elvira and actually thought that Roxy was Elvira, which is entirely possible. But it was a beautiful spread. So I know Roxy loves to dress up.
Yeah.
What did you dress up as last year? Do you remember?
She's last year, I think I was an evil tooth fairy.
Uh-huh. Oh
I
my
think I
God, yes,
redid
you
my evil tooth
were.
fairy.
You
Yeah.
were. I remember those photos you sent me, and those were gorgeous. She did an amazing job, like kind of like prop piecing teeth onto her head and her face, and it was just gorgeous. It really was great. But I remember that. Last year, I did not go as anything. I should have, but I did not. I kind of just didn't do it for some reason. I don't know why, but I just didn't do it. So, but this year, because I'm at a new job, I'm gonna kind of like low key do it. So on Thursday, I'm gonna show up with these horns on my head. I need to go buy some spirit gum because I think I'm out of spirit gum. I couldn't
Yeah.
find it last night, so I was like, where is it? So I think I'm just gonna wear my little horns and show up to work that way. And no one really comes around here to do trick or treat, so I don't
I
have to
went and got my prop knife.
Oh, what are you gonna be for your Halloween this year?
A killer bee.
Ooh, a killer bee. That's funny. That's
Well,
actually
that's gonna be my work costume just because it's, work appropriate. So
yes, my work costume will just be horns on my head because I don't know how they're gonna react to me. I really don't. And I want to clear up something that I had screwed up earlier because I went back to look at it. It was Pope Gregory the Third, not the 13th. So just wanted to
Hmm.
do that. And the writing on that is Pope Gregory the Third designated November the 1st as a time to honor All Saints. Soon, All Saints Day incorporated some of the traditional Samhain, traditions coming from the Celtic. So there you go. Just wanted to make sure I got that right because I knew I was butchering something.
I messed something up. I know it.
So, yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do for the Halloween skis. Are you gonna watch any particular Halloween movies this year?
I'm trying to watch stuff I haven't seen before, which is really hard. So,
Yeah, because you're
um,
you're constantly Halloweening
yeah.
it.
So I did watch the new one Trap, and then I watched Maxine. I watched those so far,
Hmm.
which were really, really good.
Nice.
So I don't know what I'm just trying to find something else to watch now. Oh,
See,
I
I
think I want to try to watch that Salem's Lot, that new one.
the series.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of my things that I wanted to do for this upcoming Thursday is going to be I'm going to revisit the original Salem's Lot that starred Vincent Price and check that out. So Salem's Lot, before anyone caused any preconceptions, oh, it's about witches because of Salem. No, it's actually about vampires. So
Yeah.
just to let you know.
Just so. You get it right.
Yeah, that way, there's no confusion when you watch it. You're like, what the hell is this? I thought this was about witches. Like, no, it's totally
No,
about
it's
vampires.
vampires.
So, Salem's Lot. So I'm gonna go back and explore the original, and then I'm gonna follow it up with one that I've never seen. I've said it for years. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna do it this year. I'm going to rent Trick or Treat and watch that because that's more of a cult kind of a classic, becoming a cult
Hmm.
classic, but it's more of a cult movie than anything else. So. Definitely want to check that out because I haven't seen it. I have never seen it. And I know Roxy keeps telling me, why haven't you seen it yet? And I was like, I just don't know. Uh, and then so I'm gonna jump on those two definitely and get those out of the way. So I'm gonna make popcorn, chill out, watch that, and just kind of enjoy my Halloween at home because of
Hmm.
course I gotta go to work the next day. So I can't exactly party it up or drink it up. But I
Sure
do
you
know like
can.
this
You can just
weekend,
suffer the next day like the rest of us.
yes, exactly, exactly. I don't know if a lot of people are going to be doing things this upcoming weekend, like in the sense of like going out for Halloween, because I know,
Well, not for Halloween.
yeah,
There'll probably be a lot of people out on Thursday,
mhm,
but the weekend it'll just be another regular weekend.
I think so. I think you're right. Because this past weekend we saw, me and Roxy went to go grab dinner and, take a look at a few things. And honestly, it was the weirdest thing because it was dead.
The streets were empty. I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm surprised.
I was floored. I
Even when I
told,
was leaving, when I
yes,
pulled out, I was like, I have never gotten out of here with this much ease. Like, there's always so much traffic.
yes. Oh
And
my
there was
God.
like nothing last night. I was like, what the hell?
I was remember. So we went at the last minute to go grab something for Roxy or try to find something. And Shepherd is an extremely busy one-way, four-lane street in Houston. And I just went right across and I told Roxy, that was the first time I have ever gotten across Shepherd with such ease. And like nobody,
Hmm.
like there were no damn cars. And I was like, what the hell? And I was trying to figure out where is everybody?
No,
And
for real.
I guess some people maybe at some other places doing Halloween parties, but
Maybe it was a lot of house parties and people are not
maybe
doing bars and clubs anymore, you know?
that could be it because like then we went down Washington, which is pretty famous for all their bars and clubs here in Houston, and I was like, wow, this was relatively easy too. And I was like, this is weird. Like it's literally the Halloween weekend and it's very low key,
Yeah.
which I thought was strange. So I'm curious what's going to happen on Thursday. I'm curious as to like maybe people are going to cut back for Halloween this year because I don't know about you, but those candy prices are stupid this year.
They were, oh my God, they're insane.
Like, well,
$24?
$24 for a
$24 for a
bag
pack
of
of
candy.
candy. You are crazy.
No, I don't care if
No,
that says Snickers or Hershey's or what. I'm not paying $24 for that. I'm not. I will go to the dollar store. Fuck that.
that is that is nuts.
Hmm. Exactly. It really was. So I'm curious if this year is going to be, as celebrated because of the rising cost of things.
Right.
Like is it maybe going to be a little less this year or what's up with that? Because that was weird. Like I gotta tell you, when me and Roxy were out there, that was a weird thing.
I was like, that does not say $24. What?
Like fuck you, $24.
I
I'm
was
gonna
like, oh, didn't this bag of candy used to be like $10? What
Yep, I'm gonna put like a gumball machine out in the front where they gotta put some coins in
the
there and be
Put
like,
a 25
it
cents in
ain't
there and
cheap
get the
this year,
candy.
kids. We all hurting right now. Trick or treat. But here's a fun fact. Did you know this? 1/4 of all the candy sold annually in the United States is purchased on Halloween.
Hmm,
That's a lot of candy
that is.
to be sold for one celebration. That's kind of
It sucks. I don't really get kids over here because I live in an apartment and I hate it. Like I used to buy candy every year for the kids and then nobody would ever bring their kids by. Like I would tell my friends to bring their kids by or whatever and nobody ever came by.
yeah.
Not even the kids in the neighborhood, like in the complex.
Mm-mm. See, what's messed up around? So where I live, Roxy knows where I live, so I can explain it to her the best I can. But for the rest of you, so we're in my area is like in my neighborhood, there's a divide, and the freeway divides my neighborhood from the nicer part of the neighborhood. I don't live in the nicer part of the neighborhood. And so what happens is on the other side, they are famous every year. They get written up as one of the best trick or treat spots in Houston. So all these little kids go into the neighborhood because they all jump on it. All the houses just buy bags and bags of candy and, go crazy for Halloween over there, which is great. But I'm tempted to walk it this year and see if it's a massive population like it has been in the past because I am really curious with these prices. Are we cutting back? Are we cutting back in a major way? Because I'm just weird like that and I'm curious about this. It's the journalist in me that says this seems like it would be a good story. Is this less or more? I may even accost a few of the homeowners and be like, hey, have you been seeing either less kids, more kids, right around the same as last year type of situation? So I don't know.
Right.
I may go rogue and do some bullshit like that and put it on the next show for us to just BS
And then they
about.
go trick-or-treating so early. They go at like 4 or 5.
I know it's redunculous.
I'm like, I'm not even home from work yet.
I don't want to be, well, yeah, I want to be home, but not to pass out candy. I will be eating the candy.
I still might go
Mhm,
buy a bag of candy. Hopefully, a couple kids will come by, or maybe I'll just sit on the porch for a little while and
mhm. Or
wait for the kiddos.
better yet, buy a bag of candy that you like and just let me.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna do that too, just in case, I don't get kids. I can just
Yes, just in
have
case
the
you don't,
candy.
you know. But if you want to share your Halloween stories or treats with us, you can do so at the VCR Show at thevcrshow@gmail.com or our defunct website, thevcrshow.com, and our socials at the VCR Show and our YouTube at the VCR Show. And if you want to check out this fabulous Miss Roxy as Miss Elvira, you can do so at her social medias, which are
Facebook at Roxy Perez Curvy Model, on Instagram at Roxy Perez, at PopRox428, and on TikTok at ThePopRoxx. And PopRoxx is spelled POPROXX.
and as always, I'm Vada.
And I'm Roxy.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You have been listening to VCR, creative content by Richard Christopher Vara and Roxy Perez. Logo by Richard Christopher Vara with assistance from Annie Ramirez. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us at thevcrshow@gmail.com or our social medias at Instagram and Twitter at The VCR Show. And you can also check out our content at thevcrshow.com. The show's song is Addict by Nefex, instrumental, and you can find them on YouTube Music Library.